more to love about the team after that win as they now pack up for Dublin.
This is Fox 9 News at 7.
Well, so good to be with you here on Fox 9 Plus and streaming on Fox Local. I'm Tim Blotz. We want to start here with your weather first, even though our camera is just kind of, we don't know what it's doing. It's trying to decide on something, but the sunset.
Now at 9, a previously scheduled Turning Point USA event goes on at the U of M without its founder. We'll have a live recap of the event, now held in Charlie Kirk's honor.
Plus, the Trump administration links Tylenol use during pregnancy to autism. But health officials speak out about that.
And a Fox 9 roundtable on the future of Minnesota's capital city.
St. Paul is our home. We believe in this city, and we're going to make it happen.
The issues and the goals, they say, are top of mind.
This is Fox 9 News at 9.
This is a live look in that box down there, University of Minnesota, where a Turning Point USA event is just wrapping up.
The American Comeback Tour went on as previously scheduled despite the assassination of the organization's founder, Charlie Kirk, earlier this month. We have a crew inside Northrop Auditorium, and we plan to go live to them as soon as we are able to do that.
In the meantime, we want to give you a look inside as well. Hundreds of people attended, many dressed in patriotic gear. Guests had to be 18 years old, pre-register online, and show a valid ID at the door to attend. Conservative commentator Michael Knowles hosted the event in Kirk's place. He and other speakers took the time to honor the 31-year-old whose funeral was held in his home state of Arizona just yesterday, drawing tens of thousands.
We believe that Charlie's life, death, and move into his new life in heaven with you marks an end and a beginning to perhaps the greatest spiritual revival the world has ever known. And may that revival begin right here, right now in Minnesota, the revival state.
And there were detractors tonight outside tonight's event. Skyfox chopper capturing video of several protests taking place outside Northrop Auditorium this evening, organized by local chapters of Black Lives Matter, Racial Justice Network, and Twin Cities Coalition for Justice. Again, we have a crew on campus. We'll go to them live for a comprehensive report on tonight's Turning Point USA event as soon as we can.
And as that event was going on, a courage and faith vigil was also happening at the state capitol in St. Paul this evening. It was organized by Minnesotans for Trump to honor and remember Charlie Kirk. Similar vigils were held in both Eden Prairie and Delano last week.
And tonight we have a positive update from the family of Annunciation shooting victim Sophia Fortress. They tell us she continues to make progress. That's great news. The 12-year-old was shot in the head at the Minneapolis church and school last month. And our family says Sophia's medical team is preparing to transition her from acute care to an inpatient rehabilitation program. Adding, Sophia is winning, and your prayers are working.
We have more news headlines in just a minute. First, though, let's take a look outside. This is Eden Prairie tonight on the first official night of fall. Meteorologist Cody Matz has a look at the forecast, and you are decked out in some fall gear as well this evening.
I am celebrating the arrival of said fall and said my favorite month and favorite season, and well, same for probably many folks as we start the transition to something that isn't as warm. Now, saying that, it is plenty mild out there. Temperatures in the middle 70s this afternoon. Did manage a 75 here in the Twin Cities. Some 60s across portions of the Lake Superior region. We have fallen a few degrees, but still in the mid to borderline upper 60s. It doesn't have that fall feel, though, does it? It doesn't feel crisp. It's not like got that cool, dry edge to things. That's why, because our dew points are still in the low 60s. It's still kind of humid with winds very light out of the north, and will kind of turn out of a northeasterly direction now. Last night was a bit ruckus for parts of the Twin Cities metro, especially east side, getting some hail reports from Minnetonka, but also east side of town, St. Paul over through Woodbury, and then some very heavy rain. Now, all of that activity diving off to our south across portions of Iowa. It is pushing away and will stay away, and we're probably going to be pretty quiet for the foreseeable future. Now, saying that, we will have to contend with some fog issues quite likely the next couple of nights. That includes tonight and into tomorrow morning. Dense fog advisory already issued for areas from essentially just north of St. Cloud and Cambridge and points northward. Admittedly, you may get this close to parts of the metro as we head into tomorrow morning. We'll deal with some morning clouds, some afternoon sun, and a lot of 70s in that 7-day forecast. We'll talk all about it coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, sounds nice. Thank you, Cody. Well, there were a lot of headlines about an announcement on autism today, and in an unprecedented move, the Associated Press issued an editorial position on President Trump's announcement on the cause of autism. The AP is one of the world's most respected news cooperatives and is a source for most news agencies. It wrote, quote, Trump uses platform of presidency to promote unproven ties between Tylenol, vaccines, and autism without new evidence, end quote. We decided to look deeper into the president's announcement ourselves.
Maury Glover joins us in the studio tonight with those findings. Maury?
Well, the Trump administration touted the announcement as the answer to autism, but the maker of Tylenol says it's safe.
For decades, people have used Tylenol as an alternative to aspirin to treat aches and pains and reduce fevers. Now the Trump administration says pregnant women should refrain from taking the over-the-counter medication unless they absolutely have to.
I want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it.
The FDA says it will send a warning to doctors that the active ingredient in Tylenol, acetaminophen, could be associated with a higher risk of autism in children. President Trump says pregnant women shouldn't take it or give it to their young children unless told otherwise by their doctor.
So ideally, you don't take it at all, but if you have to, if you can't tough it out, if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it.
The maker of Tylenol says acetaminophen is the safest pain reliever option for pregnant women as needed throughout their entire pregnancy. And studies have shown no clear evidence that using acetaminophen during pregnancy leads to developmental issues in kids.
There's more evidence for the genetic and family contributions to autism than the evidence for Tylenol.
The CDC says autism affects 1 in 31 children in the United States, but experts say that's because of a broader definition of autism that includes mild cases on the spectrum and better diagnoses.
If you take Tylenol once during a pregnancy, it's probably not going to cause undue outcomes. So that's, and I think that's was one of the take-homes from their message was just use it in a limited sense, in a limited way, if necessary.
Now, the White House says it will spend $50 million to study autism. The FDA will also approve a chemotherapy drug to treat the symptoms of autism in the future. Back to you.
All right, Maury, thank you. An investigation is underway tonight in St. Cloud after an elementary school child stopped breathing and later died at a hospital. St. Cloud police responded to the medical emergency at Westwood Elementary School last Tuesday. They found a 7-year-old who wasn't breathing. They performed CPR. He was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Police do not suspect foul play at this time, but continue to investigate the cause of that child's death.
Charges in a drunk driving crash that killed a baby in Maplewood over the weekend. This happened on Highway 36 eastbound on the ramp to southbound Highway 61. The Minnesota State Patrol says an SUV lost control on the ramp, went off the highway, landed upside down in a ditch. A 12-month-old died at the scene, while a 5- and 6-year-old suffered non-serious injuries. The driver of the SUV, 28-year-old Rachel Peliquin, has been charged with criminal vehicular homicide.
Tomorrow, former State Senator Nicole Mitchell will be sentenced for a felony burglary conviction. Back in July, the Woodbury Democrat was found guilty of breaking into her stepmother's home in Detroit Lakes to retrieve some of her late father's belongings. She resigned from her elected position shortly after. Mitchell faces a minimum sentence of 6 months in jail or a workhouse.
Attorneys for a well-known local Somali community activist are seeking his immediate release from ICE custody. Attorneys for Omar Jamal are asking a federal court judge to step into Jamal's immigration proceedings and order his release. Jamal was arrested by ICE last month on prior immigration violations. The government is attempting to deport him at this point. Jamal has been held behind bars at the Freeborn County Jail in Albert Lea since his arrest. Jamal is a familiar face in the Twin Cities, having worked as a community liaison for local law enforcement. His attorneys argue that U.S. attempts to deport Jamal in the past have failed and that it is unconstitutional for the government to continue to keep him locked up. Like many cities nationwide, St. Paul feeling the impact of the pandemic.
Coming up, the issues and goals a group of leaders are working on, all broken down in a roundtable discussion.
And we continue our coverage from a Turning Point USA event at the University of Minnesota. Expect a live report from the U of M to come.